so I started last time telling you a little bit about my trip at Deer Park, where I was studying for a month. And so I talked last time a little bit about the studies themselves, and then people were asking about how Geshe Zopa was. So Geshe Zopa is the founder of Deer Park. It's a Buddhist center outside of Madison, Wisconsin, and he's 90 years old now. He initially came there in the 60s, right after the Tibetans came into exile. His Holiness sent a small group of different, very well-educated Geshis, of which Geshe Zopa was one of them, to teach in universities in different countries in the West. And so that's what Geshe-la did. And he taught at University of Madison for I don't know how many years. And so he has many people who got their PhDs under him. And then he also started the Buddhist Center and was teaching there. Okay, I first met Geshe-la in 1977 because Lama Yeshe and Zopa Rinpoche had asked him to come teach at Kopan. So it was just after my ordination. I was a baby nun. And my first experience with him, he was teaching Shantideva's text, Guide to a Bodhisattva's Way of Life, which I think he recites every day. He knows by heart that entire book and recites it every day. It's one of my favorite texts, and he was the one who first kind of turned me on to it. And then I've studied with Geshe-la, periodically throughout the years. And then in 1998, started going to Deer Park for the summer courses every year, except 2 years I didn't go. And then, like I said last time, 2 years ago, Geshe-la kind of handed us group of students, summer course students, over to his student, Jangse Chögyé Rinpoche. Because Geshe-la was getting very old and it was increasingly difficult for him to teach. You could tell that his mind was still very sharp, but whereas before he taught part in Tibetan and part in English and would translate the things, he'd read in Tibetan and then translated it into English and give the commentary in English. During the last couple of years before he stopped teaching, he was teaching more and more in Tibetan and forgetting to stop and say it in English. Yeah, and so we were seeing it was becoming more difficult for him, and also the light in the temple, he had some eye problems. It was quite intense and hard for him, to sit and read the text for so long. So he turned us over. And his health has continued to decline. I saw him last year at Kalachakra, and physically he was very weak. He could barely stand up when His Holiness entered the hall, although he always managed to with the help of some other monks who helped him up. And then this time when I came, before I went to see him personally, people had told me that he had declined even more. So I was kind of prepared for it. Some people found it very difficult when they went in to see him, but I think I was prepared. And also my father's a year older than him, so I kind of know how it is. But I went in and Geshe-la was propped up on the pillow. It's hard for him to talk. He doesn't have much energy to talk. His body just doesn't have the energy. It's not that it's sick, it's just old, But so I went in just to offer a kata and make another offering. And we just spent a while just looking at each other, and his eyes were so bright and so full of compassion, and his eyes said everything that I could have wished for in the interview. That's it. I was totally satisfied with that. I did tell him that everybody at the Abbey sent their good wishes for his health and long life, and he asked how many people were at the Abbey, and so I told him. And that was it. It was just about 5 minutes, but it was really quite beautiful. And then we had a long life puja for him. There were other pujas during the course, but he didn't attend because I think it's difficult for him to come and sit on the throne and with the lights and everything. But he did come when we did the puja for the turning the Dharma wheel day, and then we did offer him a long life puja. And it was difficult for him, so old, to there was 2 steps up to where the Dharma seat is, and then to sit on the throne. And Venerable Choyang was just incredible, knowing exactly what to do to arrange Geshe-la's robes and put in a cloth here in case he dribbled a little bit, and put his chugu and everything on. And Geshe-la was just looking down and not much expression. And and then towards the end of the puja, we all went up individually to make offerings to him, and many of his old students had come in from out of town. Jim Blumenthal had flown in from Maitripa in Portland, and Roger Jackson had come in, and many people had come, and also from the extended Deer Park community. So it was a lot of his old students and friends were there, and we all came up and made offering. And he was looking so happy then. I think he just had, a feeling of seeing how much his life has affected the lives of so many other people in a really positive way, and seeing what, all his little Dharma children have become, I think and just, us really expressing our love for him was very moving for him. He looked very happy. Actually, during the whole puja, I felt like crying. I didn't cry, but I felt like crying because it was so clear to me that this may be the last long life puja that we offer for Geshe-la. I've been at so many of long life pujas for him over the years, and it just is, this one was like, this may be the last one we were able to offer for him, and really appreciating everything Geshe-la has done, not only for me, but for others, and for the existence of Dharma in the West over the years. And he's just this humble little monk, he isn't some big person who, presents himself, with lots of to-do, but just always very humble and very kind and compassionate. So it was very nice to have that long life puja. And then the last day, Friday, just before I flew out, we requested him to come down because we did a group picture. And so again he came down, and at the beginning he just was looking down and wasn't much expression. But again at the end he was really beaming. And when he got off the throne and was sitting in his wheelchair, he looked at Jangse Chögyam Rinpoche, and he said, I couldn't hear very well, but I think what he said was teacher. Kind of again just reaffirming, that he's giving us to Jangse Chögyam to educate and guide. Yeah, and it was really very beautiful to see him look at Jangse Chögyam that way. And then he wheeled off, or they wheeled him off back to his room. So that's how Geshe Zopa is. Yeah, so I think it's good we continue to make prayers for his long life and good health. And even if he's too old to teach, just his presence is something that really inspires us. For years he's taught us about aging, sickness, and death, and now he is giving us another teaching about it, and the importance of getting out of cyclic existence and freeing ourselves and others.